Hey, what's up guys? This is Jeff PELIZZARO from 18 Strong, and today I wanted to show you a couple things that I like to do for golfer's elbow, tennis elbow. If you've ever struggled with one of these, you realize it can be a super debilitating issue and can really kind of make your golf game almost non-existent if you have enough discomfort. It can also really ruin your workouts and ruin your fitness level because it hurts to grip stuff, it hurts to pick things up. And so the last thing you want to do is go to the weight room and grab some weight. So a couple of tricks that I like to use with my clients and that I like to use myself. I've actually struggled with elbow pain, golfer's elbow, which is more the interior side, or what we would call the medial side of the elbow. And then tennis elbow is a little bit on the top side. Fortunately, I haven't had any tennis elbow issues, knock on wood. But basically, you don't have to play tennis to get tennis elbow. You don't have to play golf to get golfer's elbow. So you may have struggled with one or both of these before, or you know that you want to prevent these. So a couple things. Just sitting in an office setting, which I know most of you do on a regular basis, I'm going to give you something you can do. Just take 5 minutes here or there, or do it specifically before your workout, specifically before going to the driving range or going to the golf course. And you're going to need basically just one little tool, maybe two, your thumb or fingers being one of them. The first thing I like to use is either just, this is a simple lacrosse ball that I got just at Dick's Sporting Goods. I think it was, a couple of bucks. The other tool that I really like, I don't have it with me today, is some of the Rad Roller products, because they make different size balls like this, but different tensions or different solidness. So some of them are a little softer, some of them are a little harder. But with the lacrosse ball, basically what you want to do is start working on some of that tissue. Most of us have gone and gotten a massage somewhere to help work out some knots and work out some issues. The lacrosse ball can help us do a similar thing. Not quite as good as going to a therapist or a chiropractor or something like that, but if you do this stuff consistently, that I feel is more important than going and getting one good massage. So what you're going to do is take the ball, and you can just put it on a hard surface. You can do this on the floor or on your kitchen table, your countertop, and whatever is sore on you. And I'm going to go just kind of the inside of the elbow. Usually I'll get a little closer to the camera here. Usually it's kind of right on this spot that is the most tender, and if you touch that, it almost makes you want to jump out of your seat. So you're going to take the ball, and I would start even a little bit further up on the forearm, and you're going to kind of start just rolling back and forth on the ball. So I'll kind of go sideways here. You're just going to, first, you can just kind of go long ways and just kind of feel out where the tender spots are. And it's just like using your foam roller. You want to kind of move it around, hit different directions, and just find where the spots are, and then that's where you're really going to kind of dig in the future. And then what I also like to do is I like to go kind of a side-to-side motion. So I'll kind of find the spot, and then I'll even put my fingers around the ball so the ball doesn't go crazy and go all over the place. And if I find that little spot, I'll kind of go back and forth on it. So if you're picturing the tendons in your arm go kind of like down this way, same thing down here, and they attach into your wrist, your hand. And so those almost are like ropes. And so if you picture yourself kind of rolling side to side over that rope, you're kind of spreading it out, you're kind of mashing that tissue, which is going to help it become a little bit more pliable. Or if it's been irritated for a while, it's going to help with circulation and that type of stuff, which blood flow is definitely going to help. So basically you're just going to kind of dig on that spot. And there's no real rule of thumb. I'd say take 3 to 5 minutes, or longer if you can tolerate it, longer if you have the time. And you're going to go ahead and hit that spot. So again, kind of, I'll go forward and backwards, I'll go side to side, or if I find a real nasty spot, I'll just push on it and just kind of some sustained pressure to really kind of help ease that out. And then the same thing would go, it's a little more awkward, but you could do it on the outer side too. Or you could even just take this thing like so and just kind of roll around there like that. You can also use your thumb or your finger and just, again, this would be, so if those tendons are going this way, this would be a cross. This would be a cross friction massage. And just go ahead and dig on that. Sometimes you could even get a little bit of baby oil or something, or lotion, and help kind of move that tissue around. And so you really want to kind of dig on those spots And then one last thing that you can do, I've also got a golf ball here, because you can do the same thing with a golf ball. It's a little more intense, but it also will do the trick. You want to put it on something so it doesn't slide around too much. But the other thing that you can do is, once you find that tender spot, then start going through some of the different ranges of motion here, where now you've got pressure on that spot, and now you're moving that tendon underneath it. You can also kind of go side to side and just kind of do all kinds of different motions there. And so same thing, I would roll it out first, and then I'd start working on some of those. Or, you know, with your finger, you can even kind of hold that and then just do some of those motions too. And you're going to find that as you move through that motion, you're going to get some tenderness, but hopefully after that it's going to feel a little bit better. So do that before your round of golf. Do it just while you're sitting at the office, so you can, you know, kind of work on it on a daily basis. Make it part of your routine. And then also, I'd say do it, you know, before you go to the gym, before you're doing pull-ups, before you're doing rows, before you're doing any kind of lifts, if you're working your biceps or triceps. Get this stuff in, because everything is affected by your hands, by your grip, and your tendons attached to those parts of your elbow. And anytime you're stressing out your forearm, stressing out your grip, you're actually putting extra stress there. So the stronger we can get all this stuff, the better, but we got to make sure that this is all moving properly and it's not all bound up. So if that's one great way to warm up. If you want, we have a full 20-minute warm-up that we put together over at 18 Strong. You can either go click on one of the links that's somewhere here in the video, or there should be a link down below where you get a whole 20-minute warm-up. It shows you how to do some foam rolling, some flexibility stuff that you can do at home before you go out to the golf course, which is great to get you ready for that first tee. Thanks again for joining us. Train hard, practice smart, play better golf.